Platchums!
Dan, um, we just had a question uh come in the Platchums pigeon hole or wherever it is we get our letters, and I'm gonna pose you a question, Dan. Considering that the cost of PS3 games are starting to shoot up like yourself into the stars, Spec Ops: The Line, for a good example. It'd be cool to know whether you'll be buying more PS3 games when they start getting to ridiculous prices. I'm going to say one thing with the way that question is asked. Thank you for the question, by the way, Drag Rude 94. Uh, yes, I'm going to start getting them before they get to ridiculous prices, because I feel
Mhm.
like if you start collecting when they're already at ridiculous prices, you've lost that battle. Um,
Sure.
yeah, I've gotten big into collecting physical games the last year or two. I don't know if I've
Yeah.
mentioned this before. I'm kind of just PS1 to PS4, and PSP and like some Vita, but the Vita collection isn't. It's. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. It's just far too expensive, and
Mm.
essentially, it's more like just my favorite games ever, or games that I feel like I never got around to, or that I rented. So it's going to be very quality over quantity. I think
Yeah.
it is the best time to buy PS3 games, because when the store was threatened with closure, the Vita and PS3 store, we all saw that there was a huge knock-on effect that kind of carried into lockdown when
Mm.
those prices went up. I feel like they've only just kind of calmed down or somewhat stabilized. So that
Sure.
day is coming pretty soon. And I do think that they're going to be, shooting up in price. Um, and even games like Gran Turismo 5, you know, I got that for 25 cents.
Wow.
I'm not big on, Gran Turismo, but I just thought, you know what, like I'll pick it up. It's admittedly a great game if you're into racing games, but it's tied to the PS3 generation. So I mean, I'm not spending ludicrous amounts of money. I've kind of got, like most of the like main games. I think I'm picking up some PS1 games from you, like swooping in like Digimon World and Resident Evil 1 and stuff. But like I think I was never one for like a big massive collection. I feel like very curated. And oddly
Mm.
enough, because I was at the right age for the PS3, I kind of started having my own money, because I was like
Yeah.
17 when I got like my first PS3, and I didn't get a PS4 until 2016. So when I was already like 25. So like I mean, it's the one generation it was my strongest until I kind of went back and was starting to get PS2 and PS1.
Yeah.
um, so I think like I got the Metal Gear Solid HD collection a few months ago on PS3. Never got it before physically, which is mad. But I made a point of getting that because that was starting to get to like insane prices.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and got it for like 20 or something. I picked up Heavenly Sword. That was one of the first PS3 games
Launch
I
game.
played. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel like it's not talked about enough, but I remember that the first time I used the six axis for the arrows. I was like, the future is here. Every game's going to use six axis, and then it was the last time I saw was in Drake's Fortune on like a balance beam, which kind of took away a bit of the panache. Um, so yeah, I feel like I've kind of done a lot of the groundwork in the last couple of years. I feel like it was the PS3 store closure that kind of pushed me to start going back and collecting these games physically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I plan on picking up a few, but I feel like my PS3 collection is pretty good for the games I want. Like I've picked up Bayonetta. Um, I picked up I think like Dead Islands. I got that for like 50 cents, just in like thrift stores and kind of CX every so often. So it is a good time to be getting them. But what about yourself?
Yeah. I have a pretty good PS3 collection
Hmm.
because, like yourself, I guess, um, it was you know, the perfect time. I used to buy, I used to buy games a lot, like brand new games for the
Hmm.
PS3 genre, because I was in college and that's what I spent all my money on.
That and
Um,
Dominoes. I remember a lot of
and
Dominoes.
yeah, and a lot of, yeah, a lot of pizza.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess PS3 one seems like a little bit more volatile than maybe like PS2 or PS1,
Hmm.
just because so many games are tied to online servers. So like I can see a lot of the PS3 library not not reaching crazy heights because the games are effectively,
Unplayable.
discs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So games like that, um, like Gran Turismo 5, for example, like I have the special edition of that one, but um, well, yeah, I say special edition, it's like the steel book with the art
Hmm.
book or whatever, like it's those
Before
kind of
these
ones.
things were in vogue.
Yeah, I never got any of the big
Yeah, yeah,
gilts,
yeah.
but I'd always get the steel book if I could, or the one that came with like the art book and stuff. But uh yeah, like so many of those games will just be, I guess, pointless to have.
Yeah, do you remember
Um
Mag? Massive action game.
yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's essentially like a wet sponge of a disc at this point. No, it's an
yeah.
interesting point. Like Infamous never got a physical release outside of PS3, or did it even get a remaster? It never got a remaster or anything. It's that
No,
like
but it's
that's
on
kind of
PS
tough.
now.
It's on PS now, like over streaming, and I feel like Sony haven't really developed that much. Um, there's still just a very select amount of games that are on it, and I feel like there's a lot of PS3 games that will kind of die in that generation that won't be
Yeah,
ported. So I feel like there's potential there for a lot of games to kind of go up in price, but maybe not as much as you think. It's hard to say. PS3 is such a bizarre generation anyway. Like
yeah,
it was the generation that kind of broke the connective tissue, but for backwards compatibility.
yes.
Um, so
We had
yeah.
things like that online passes reared their
Mm-hmm.
head for, I guess it was like kind of like 2009 to like
Mm-hmm.
2011. Every game had an online pass, even if it was
Yeah,
like
but
not an online game.
yeah, but the thing is, at least the online was free back then. Maybe that's
True.
why they're killing all these games. So people aren't reminded of the fact it's free online.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interest in a console generation for that. But like, look, I personally am collecting, actively collecting physical games at the
Yeah.
moment. There's just a few more that I want to tick off. Like I might do a video on what I have because I feel like we've never done that. Like,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
what
We could do
games do we
like
like?
our favorite games from our collection kind of video or something.
Yeah, yeah, or like you go with your PS3, I go with my PS3 collection.
Yeah.
Because I would do it now while we're talking about it, but I'm just too fucking lazy.
I don't have I'm in my kitchen, so
Yeah, yeah, like and like mine are like 4 steps that way, but I'm not arsed. I'm not
yeah.
arsed. But look, are you collecting any games at the moment? I don't know why it was like, look at. Um,
No, I'm not collecting it. I'm offloading a lot of games at the minute,
yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm funding other things. So but I'm definitely gonna always hold on to like the games that mean a lot to me and that the ones I want. And like I have a pretty good PS3 collection, so I don't think I'll touch that because it feels quite complete
Yeah,
to me
yeah.
at the minute.
And
But
you're never going to get rid of Breath of Fire 3 or anything like that.
no,
Like yeah,
no, yeah.
yeah.
Those
But
kind of games
I'll
will
take
be there
Resident Evil
forever.
1. I'll take Resident Evil 1 off you.
Sure,
Like
yeah.
just
Yeah, it's like I had like I don't like having like a half collection of things. It sounds a bit silly, but like I don't like having like, 7 GameCube games. I'd rather have like either zero
100
GameCube
or
games
none.
or 100. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you
So
mean. Like my Vita collection is like that. Where
yeah,
I got like Persona 4, I got Gold Abyss, I got like Tearaway and stuff, and Gravity Rush, which to be fair, I feel like they're the main games on the system.
yeah. They are. Yeah, they're the
Actually,
biggest.
it feels kind of complete. No, no, there's good stuff on the Vita, but yeah, like it is just like a cost factor, but yeah, like I think that there is a certain limit. I think my PS2 collection feels pretty complete, and I agree with you. Like a complete collection is one that is like, no, that looks nice. But if there's
Yes.
like for the longest time, I had 2 GameCube games,
Yeah.
the Twin Snakes and Mario Party 4, and it just looked raw, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
like, need to do something with this. But look,
I
let
know.
us know what you're collecting for, or if there's any games that you really want to add to your collection, because it is something that I'm quite interested in at the moment. And maybe we'll do a collection video at some point. Just let us know if you even fucking care to see. But it doesn't matter. We're going to do it anyway. Blah.